Have you ever seen a situation where someone goes from protecting power to becoming the center of the storm? Well, grab a seat, because today's headline is hotter than a July sidewalk in Phoenix. We're diving straight into the whirlwind surrounding Norman Chisale, the once ultra-trusted bodyguard to former Malawi president Peter Mutharika, who stepped up to the mic in Lilongwe during the DPP gathering. And let's just say, folks, he did not come to whisper. Nope. My guy came to talk, to roar, and to shake the room like he was auditioning for a political action movie. If you thought politics was dramatic before, buckle up. What went down in Lilongwe wasn't just another meet and greet. It was a power-packed comeback moment that left the crowd screaming, the media buzzing, and the DPP faithful electrified. So let's break this down. 10 facts, no filters, no fluff, full energy. Norman Chisale didn't enter the political universe as some loud voice or some born and bred power player. Nope, he walked in through the side door wearing a security badge, a sharp suit, and the kind of professional focus that makes people say, yeah, I'd trust this guy with my life. He climbed the ranks fast, moving from just another guy in the security detail to becoming the key protector of the president of Malawi, earning himself influence, respect, and a whole lot of political street credit. When you're responsible for keeping a head of state alive, people tend to listen when you speak, and boy, did that role elevate him. But climbing ladders in politics means every step gets louder, and eventually, everybody starts watching your every move. Working so close to power isn't just about standing next to the president. It's about having a VIP backstage pass to everything: decisions, alliances, travel, deals, and the political heat that most folks never get to see. Chisale became more than a bodyguard. He became a gatekeeper, a confidant, and sometimes even the guy who delivered tough messages when everyone else was afraid. That kind of influence doesn't come from textbooks. It comes from proximity, loyalty, and being in the right room at the right time. And trust me, in politics, being in the room is half the game. But when you're that close to the fire, don't be shocked when someone eventually says they smell smoke. As the years rolled on, people started noticing something unusual. Norman Chisale was leveling up financially, and fast. Cars, properties, assets, the kind that make even seasoned politicians say, hold up, what's this guy doing that we aren't? His name kept popping up in those high-profile investigations, and journalists started digging like they were auditioning for detective shows. Whether it was a coincidence, business savvy, or something more complicated, the optics were wild enough to kick off nationwide debates. And in politics, when the money talks, the officials start listening, sometimes louder than you'd like. Eventually, everything snowballed into court cases featuring accusations that read like a courtroom drama script: intimidation, obstruction, language issues, and more. Suddenly, the man who once protected the president was sitting on the other side of the justice system, answering questions, facing witnesses, and flipping the script on his entire public identity. It's the kind of twist that hits harder because people never expect the protector to become the headline. But trust me, political storms don't hit alone. They usually drag a whole party through the mud with them. The Democratic Progressive Party is no stranger to controversy, but Chisale's story reshaped conversations in ways no one saw coming. When someone that close to former President Mutharika makes noise, whether intentionally or through public drama, it shakes the party from top to bottom. Members get defensive, critics get louder, and the narrative becomes harder to control. Political image is fragile, and every new headline connected to the Chisale name became another ripple knocking on the party's door. And speaking of ripples, Lilongwe saw a whole storm during the recent gathering. At the DPP meeting in Lilongwe, Chisale stepped up with the energy of someone who had something to prove and something to reclaim. The room erupted with music, chanting, applause, and the kind of political hype you only see when someone unexpected steals the spotlight. He didn't mumble. He didn't hold back. He spoke like a man who wanted the nation to hear him from the front row to the back gate. His return to the microphone lit the hall like fireworks. And when a man like that speaks, you can bet the legal world is listening too. The court side of this story is its own universe, packed with testimonies from officials, investigators, security experts, and a lineup of state witnesses building their narrative brick by brick. Some came with documents, others with statements, and all of them added another layer of complexity to a case that has already stretched national attention. Chisale isn't walking through a small legal tunnel. This thing is a whole labyrinth. And in every labyrinth, the political consequences follow right behind. For the DPP, the situation is like walking a tightrope over a canyon. They must defend their legacy, distance themselves from trouble, maintain public trust, and keep their members aligned, all while navigating Chisale's influence and loyal supporters. Parties thrive on unity, but they also hate messy stories, and this one is as messy as a toddler with finger paint. But hey, when politics gets messy, public interest shoots up like crazy. People sometimes look at political stories like this and think, it doesn't affect me. But narratives like Chisale shape understanding of accountability, power, justice, and integrity. They reveal how systems work, how alliances break, and how influence plays behind the curtains of government. Whether you live in Malawi or Miami, these patterns echo. And that's why the next chapter matters even more. Court rulings, party reactions, public opinion, political strategy, everything is still in motion, and the final chapters haven't been written. Chisale has supporters cheering loudly, critics watching closely, and a political stage shifting beneath everyone's feet. One thing is guaranteed, this story isn't done yet, and we'll be right here covering every twist as it drops. And now, let's wrap this up the right way. If you've been vibing with this breakdown, don't just dip. Stick around and be part of the Global Pulse News family. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell like you're waking up the neighborhood. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what you think this saga means for the DPP, for Malawi politics, and for accountability across Africa. And while you're showing love, go support our sister channels, Sparkling Kids and Rema Fatima, amazing places for learning, fun, and building brighter futures for the young champs in your family. Let's grow together, let's rise together, and let's keep being your voice. Loud, bold, and unstoppable.